Hi everyone. Today I'm back with a throwback review of a show that came out in 2022 called Smiley. It's an LGBTQ plus love story about two characters, Alex and Bruno. And it's a rom-com, and it's available on Netflix. So the story begins with, it's a miniseries, by the way. So there's only one season, 8 episodes. Just wanted to put that out there. Um, so the show stars Carlos Suarez as Alex, Mickey Esparve as Bruno in the central characters, as well as Pepo Nieto as Javier, and several other characters. I just wanted to mention these three because they are, for me, they were the most impactful and the most interesting part of the story. But there were many other actors who made a good impact as well and played a central role in the story. But I don't want to do any spoilers. So it's a rom com. Its story begins with Alex having a heartbreak, and he leaves a voice message talking about his feelings and how he sent him a smiley about after they spent a night together, and how he was kind of brokenhearted by it a little bit. And he leaves us a really long message. Turns out, the message that he left was not for Alex, or not for his boy, not for his ex now, but for actually somebody else, some stranger. He dialed the wrong number because he was calling from the bar phone, so he dialed the wrong number by mistake. So he left them at this message for this complete stranger. And that's when the story begins with this mistake. And what happens after is a series of events where they do decide to meet. Bruno, who's very surprised by this call, but um, fortunately he's gay as well, so he's like, oh, and he's had brokenhearted too. He's been brokenhearted as well, which I'll talk about in a second. And what happens is that he decides to give him a call back for a variety of reasons, and they decide to meet. And that's when the story begins. And I don't want to give you more than that because I really want you to watch the show and enjoy the chaos, the fun, the tears, the comedy, all that ensues further. Do they get together or not? Uh, do they have issues or not? What happens between them? It's a really interesting story, but there are some really key points that I do want to mention. So, for example, some things that really hit home for me. One of them was that Bruno is not considered very good looking, and whenever he goes on a dating app, he gets very rude messages from these guys. Like he'll message somebody saying hi or something, and they'll respond back that I wouldn't date you if you were the last person on earth, and some really crappy things like that, which I have seen myself as well. So my connection to that was very strong because I was like, oh my god, that happens to me quite a bit. And so that was part of the reason why he has a little bit of low self-esteem, but he's a really good person. He has a good job. He's like, he lives a reasonable life. He has his best friend from college, who he works with, who's straight but so loving and so friendly and so on board with Bruno and his life that they spend everything together. He's godfather to his kids even, and that's and I want you to see that dynamic as well. It's a really fun dynamic and really sweet dynamic, and it becomes important part of the show too. Um, so the acting, amazing, really good acting. Like for example when Bruno receives that message, his expression is, oh my god. And there are a couple times when Bruno has to give monologue. Oh dear God, you listen, you feel the pain that he's feeling. His acting was so on point. Same with Alex. Alex, played by Carlos. Oh my God, if you haven't seen Marley's, you gotta watch Marley. Uh, I love Carlos, and that's actually why I watched the show in the first place. And Carlos, as usual, was amazing, really funny, very different from his previous character in Marley, because that's the show I'd watched before then. Fun show, very good actor. Even he has a monologue. Oh my god. You feel like it feels like they put their heart and soul in the show, and it feels that way because every actor brings so much on board, even with like Bruno, like Alex's mother, his best friend, his bar owner. The two other characters I want to talk about, but I won't give you any details about, is Javier and Ramiro, which are the older gentlemen in the show. And Javier is this drag queen, part of he's a bar owner where Alex works at, and they're like really close friends, like they're like chosen family. And there's another owner as well who's also Alex's best friend, and they're Alex doesn't own the bar, but his best friend and Javier do, and Alex works there. So they're all very close knit family, basically. The reason I'm mentioning Javier is because Javier has been single for a long time. He's an older gentleman, probably in his 50s, but he's really good at heart, funny guy. Um, we meet this one guy called Romero, and you will see what the connection is later on. But there is this one scene where Ramiro is upset about something and he comes to the bar because he wanted a shoulder to cry on, basically. He drinks a lot and ends up like really drunk, and there's this communication between uh Javi and Ramiro. Um I felt that so strongly as well. Like that was another amazing part of the show, that the that communication they had with each other, that talk they had, and and another talk they had after that as well. That one hit home. As somebody who is getting an older gay man, it's very important to feel that, and that was done so well. I love this show because it's done so many things right. I mean, there's some campy things too, and there's some, you know, things that you would expect, but there are also some very important, serious things. I'm sorry this review has gone long, but there are some really important things that I want to talk about, which is why I'm mentioning these, and some things to look out for. I don't want to do any spoilers. I don't want to tell you what happens, but I want you to see they're acting on point. Everybody's acting on point, and those monologues that come in the show, and these people that are having these conversations, and how important they are, and how relevant they are. So, if you haven't watched Smiley, I highly recommend it on Netflix. I watched it for the second time. I had actually forgotten the story quite a bit, so I was pleasantly surprised. It's only 8 episodes. I really recommend watching it. It's really good, really funny, and really cute. You'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll fall in love. You'll do everything in this show. It's one of those rom-coms that's one of my favorites. I don't do rom-coms, but that this is definitely an exception. So please like, share, subscribe my channel, and let me know if you what you think about it. And thank you so much for watching.